Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have Daniel Martin here with me, and he is going to be watching me do my makeup. Daniel is a professional celebrity makeup artist, and he is the Dior brand ambassador, right?
Yes. Dior brand ambassador and creative color consultant for Honest Beauty.
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna be doing something along the lines of talking, chatting, learning some new things that we didn't know about makeup from, like I said, a professional makeup artist that works on clients, and me as a YouTuber that does makeup on myself.
Right.
Normally.
So I basically attacked her about this opportunity because my world and her world never really clash. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of my fellow makeup artists go to YouTube to learn about new products, see how it's performed because of artists like you. So I felt like, okay, this is a great opportunity that we can actually bridge and learn in this medium, because you don't really get that. You don't really get someone from my end talking and working with someone in your medium, because even though we do the same thing, it's very different.
Yeah, it is very different. I'm going to be just doing my makeup, and we're just going to be chatting.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask her questions because there's a lot of products here that I'm not familiar with, and it's going to be more of a learning experience for me too. So.
All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start with foundation. Normally I just use the NARS, the new Naturally Radiant Longwear Foundation. It's been one of my favorites for a while now. Pump that onto my hand.
Have you had gone through a period of time where it was very difficult for you to find your appropriate shade?
Oh yeah, of
and
course.
What do you look for when you're picking out your foundation? Because I feel like especially during Fashion Week, a lot of makeup artists backstage don't necessarily have a big range of color.
Yeah.
And for you being so deep, has it been a really big challenge for you?
It's definitely been a really, really big challenge. I didn't start wearing makeup till I was like 21. And back then, I really didn't have any options in the drugstore. And I think the only options that I had at that moment was like MAC or Lancome. And being a college student struggling on a budget, it was a little pricey for me back then.
Right.
But yeah, definitely struggled a lot.
What was that one?
It was the MAC, the Matchmaster. I think they discontinued it because it was too red, but to be honest, that was one of my favorite foundations. And I do have the redder undertones, so I do gravitate towards foundations that have more red to them. But
what do you think that the red does to...
I think it brings warmth to my face and my skin tone, and it just matches my undertones a lot better than like a yellow or gray undertone.
Because a lot of gray, so when people say gray, it's usually a green undertone, because the green is a neutralizer for red. And I think with women of color, when you can't really identify that undertone, you try to figure out, I think you either look at the undertone to cancel it out, or you find the undertone to warm you up.
Yeah.
So I think understanding why women wear red is really helpful.
Yeah.
And when you match your foundation, how do you match it?
Normally, because like my face, you probably can't tell right now, it's 2 shades lighter than 2 shades darker than my chest. So depending on the formula of the foundation, I can have a foundation that matches my chest, but since if it's like super, super full coverage, it's not going to look good on my face, even if it matches my chest, because it doesn't sheer out enough to kind of balance in between.
Gotcha.
So.
And when you prep your skin before foundation, what's your system?
Before foundation, I do a serum, and then occasionally I'll do an oil, depending on how dry my skin is, and then a moisturizer, and that's really it. And I just forgot to put on this, which is my favorite. So I don't know how I forgot to put that on. I'm annoyed with myself right now.
So this is the Capture Total Matte Maximizer.
It's so good.
And it's so good. There's also a green one for neutralizing. I love the plump. And I also love the glow booster.
I think I just started using the plump. I really like this one as a primer, which it's not really marketed as a primer, but I really enjoy it as a primer.
And this is before your moisturizer?
Before foundation.
Okay, so use it after moisturizer.
Yeah, I think that's foundation.
It's beautiful. But I see what you meant, that it warms you up and it really balances you out, because now I can see in your chest that you're really even.
Yeah.
I used to assist Pat McGrath, and I remember her saying, if you're gonna do the face, we basically had to look at the stomach, because we didn't know if what she was wearing or how much skin she's gonna be showing. So it was always best to match her face with her stomach. So that's kind of, I mean, I'm not asking my clients to lift up their shirt now,
Can I see
but
your belly button?
right. But that's always kind of like a good gauge,
Yeah.
especially for editorial or
Yeah.
anything like that.
So when you are doing makeup on the client, what is the first thing you like to do for skin prep?
For skin prep, for me, I like to exfoliate.
Exfoliate.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially if they've been on a 12-hour flight or taken the red eye. You just want to remove that dead skin. And what I like to use is Honest Beauty makes this incredible clarifying toner, and there's a very small amount of salicylic acid in it. So what it does is it just breaks down a lot of that dead skin, and it helps balance out any kind of redness. So I tone with that. I tend to go more with water-based moisturizers and water-based foundations, because depending on the job,
Yeah.
there's a lot of layering involved, and I find that water-based products layer best with each other. And it's always good to have your skincare be compatible with your foundation.
I see.
Just for long wear purposes.
So if you're doing like a water-based foundation, try and go with a water-based moisturizer.
Water-based moisturizer or water-based primer. Tatcha just created this amazing water-based, it's called Silk Canvas, and it's 3 different pressed silks into this primer.
Oh,
And
I
I don't know if I showed it to you before.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's this round disc, and it's like literally 3, it's a cream, and it's intimidating because it's pink, so
Yeah.
a lot of people of color, anyone who's deeper than white, are like, this is gonna look ashy
Give
on
me
my face.
flashback.
Exactly. But there's none, and
Yeah.
it's water-based, so what it does is just blurs out pores, it kind of fills in pores, but it just cuts that shine where you don't want it. And you just need a little bit of it, but because it's a water-based, I feel comfortable using it. I love that you're doing concealer after,
Right.
too. I use concealer after because it enables me to kind of see how much coverage I need to add. Whereas sometimes if you do concealer first, you wind up putting too much on.
Oh, like
and,
before foundation.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you're like, okay, why is this looking so heavy? It's because you should have done, for me anyways, you should have done your foundation first,
Yeah.
because then it minimizes the amount of coverage you need.
You need, exactly. I don't really go too light on concealer. I just really like to brighten the under eyes. I think people go with like 2 or 3 shades lighter, but I just can't do that.
I love that color.
I know, it's so pretty.
Yeah,
This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Dark
those
Coffee.
concealers are so good.
So good.
I tend to use a sponge to finish.
Oh, so
I
you
don't.
use brushes?
I use brushes for everything.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like a lot more people are really maximizing the use of their sponge.
I don't know. I just feel like I get a smoother finish or a cleaner finish with the sponge. So I've always just been using that. I have tried to brush multiple times, and I think I like it, but I could do it if I had like no sponge.
Right.
But I do prefer the.
And also, I feel like people use sponges more because of timing.
You think so? Is it faster to blend
It's
it?
faster. You have more control of it, and you can just bounce it all over. And
And then go.
Yeah.
That's probably why I use it, because I'm like always in a rush.
right. And that's what's so fascinating too about what, like, the real woman is doing, is that they're not spending, we have 2 hours with an actress, and it's usually hair and makeup at the same time.
Okay.
Whereas you're trying to figure out,
How I can get out of the house in 30 minutes.
right, and the efficiency.
Yeah. I'm just highlighting my face now.
And this is a new thing too that I'm learning about, is using concealer as a highlighter, whereas before,
What were they using before?
just foundation that's a few shades lighter.
Oh, I'm going to set my under eyes now. I'm using the MAC times Patrick Star setting powder.
Matt times Patrick Star. So is this like a collaboration that he did? Oh, I see.
And he did really well with this powder.
Let's show them this powder, because this powder is like what would you say, like a pinky beige?
Yeah, I was honestly really intimidated by it when I
Yeah,
first
I
got it.
would be intimidated too,
Yeah.
actually.
This at first I was just like, I don't know if I can use this, But after using it, I was just like, this is good.
Wow.
You see how it kind of like blends out into
Yeah.
nothing?
Yeah,
It's so
and it
good.
brightens you up. Okay, see this is another trick that I've never done. You've used the same sponge from your wet products to your dry products. And back in my day, wet was wet, dry was dry.
Yeah.
You don't mix the two unless you're building something. Wow.
Yeah. I really love this powder.
And it's not very, is there like a sheen to it? I mean, it adds a bit of
I
radiance,
feel like
but
it
it's
gives
not
a smoothing effect.
right. Okay, gotcha.
So it kind of like just blurs kind of everything out underneath the under eyes. I have really creasy under eyes, so.
And do you think this helps set that, or
Nothing really helps do that, but this is good.
I wonder, sometimes when that happens for me, I'll actually go over, Honest Beauty makes this incredible product called Magic Balm, and what it does is it just adds a bit of moisture, but it doesn't interrupt makeup to kind of cut that creasing, so it doesn't look
Do you think
real
it helps?
crepey. Yeah, it definitely helps.
So whenever you do clients, do you do super highlighted under eye, or is it normally just like a very...
It's usually really something
Simple.
very simple because also I have to think about lights.
Yeah.
And I have to think about the environment that we're working in. So if we're doing a press junket and they're moving from different studios, I need something that's going to be transferable without it looking too trendy. Because if I started out with like a completely strobed face, by noon she'd look like a tin can. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Gotcha.
there's elements that you can have those effects, but you can't really necessarily, it just won't last.
It doesn't transfer well.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Is that like one of your favorite makeup looks to do?
I think what's been fun, like you met Sella Marley last night. What's been fun about working with her is that she's very experimental. So it's been really fun to work with someone who loves makeup and likes to play.
Yeah. So if you had the option, like let's say a client comes in and they're just like, do whatever you want to do, would you give them the normal glam, or would you do something
I would want to do something a little bit more fun. We've broken barriers with makeup now. And, what was a taboo isn't a taboo anymore.
Yeah.
So I feel like, even through YouTube, I feel like it's enabled a lot of people to be more experimental with their makeup. Now, you're applying the concealer
On my eye.
on your eye. Is this more like to create a contour
This
or
is more
shading?
to, just because this concealer really helps with creasing, but it's a little too dry to use underneath my eyes. I use it on my eyelid so that, because see, I have this fold right here that creases throughout the day, and this helps it from creasing.
Oh. Because I noticed that it did follow the shape of your eye, so it almost looks like...
I was using it as like to add depth.
Yeah. It's so beautiful, but you're actually using it to hold whatever shadow you're going to put on top of it. Oh, gotcha.
It's drying.
How much is this product?
$7.
$7?
I know. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's a revolution, girl. Makeup that inexpensive.
Literally. And then this is the Beauty Bakery flour powder. See how it looks really matte right there?
Yeah.
So this helps keep my eyeshadow in place all day.
And what's it called?
The Beauty Bakery flour powder.
Beauty Bakery flour powder. See, I've never heard of this product before.
They are Black owned, and they have some really awesome products.
Wow. And how are you finding a lot of these brands?
Instagram most of the time.
Really?
I get tagged in like new things that come out, so that always helps. And just, I guess, stalking Instagram beauty pages.
Wow. I feel like because of Instagram, it's created this whole other dimension and medium in cosmetics, because you're finding brands that you wouldn't see in a magazine, or you wouldn't have read on a blog. I love that they call it flour.
I know.
Literally, it's
I
like...
think their theme is like
Oh, it's all like food?
like
Oh,
like
okay.
pastries and stuff like
Oh,
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Cute. And what is this eyeshadow?
These are, I just grabbed them. These are the MAC times Patrick Star eyeshadow quads that they came out with. They're just easy to carry. So I was just like,
Yeah.
grabbing.
That's beautiful.
It is a pretty shade. And I can usually do something
Can I show them what you're using?
Yeah.
So she just applied this color, which is like a maroon, burgundy-ish brown, like a brick, I guess.
Yeah. It's really pretty. How many eyeshadows do you use, like, if you're doing a client's eyeshadow?
If I'm doing a client, I usually tend to stick with maybe 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, each client's different. I work with Elizabeth Moss, and for the Oscars, I only used 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You just, like, used an all over that shade?
Dior makes this beautiful mono shimmer when it's a cream. And when you use it with your finger, it just lays down really beautifully on the eye. And it's just and on camera it looks very creamy. So that's basically all I used, and just mascara. It's like when you're able to work with someone who's very comfortable with no makeup, it's always fun for me because it challenges me to kind of, how can I make her look her best without looking like we spent 2 hours doing it?
But normally, like, even with the no makeup, because of all the layering that you do and the skincare, it does normally still take like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's no, what's a better word for it? But it's literally, it does take time, and it does, you know, require good skin to have that whole no makeup look. So if I wasn't here asking all these questions, how long would this whole process take?
Without eyebrows, because eyebrows are a whole nother beast. That's why I did them today. Without eyebrows, I could probably get it done in like 35 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's
just
amazing.
Because I'm just like so used to all the products and how I like to use them.
And what this is
This
NYX?
is the NYX Worth the Hype mascara.
I love that brand.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so affordable, and there's so much color payoff.
Yes. And this is actually a really good mascara. I think this is new that they just launched. And I have tiny baby lashes, and this actually works to pick them.
Wow. It really does. I love watching people get their makeup done. Especially when on the subway train.
Oh, yeah. People do their makeup on the subway.
Beat down. Start to finish.
Oh my
I've
God.
seen someone curl their lashes. I've seen someone put on lashes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, okay. Remember when we went on the subway and we took that picture?
Right.
Okay, so I put that picture on Twitter and I got dragged for touching the pole. I was just like, oh my God. I didn't know it was
This was her
bad.
first ride on a subway train, so it was very, like, it was fun for us.
Yeah.
Because we were breaking you in. But I remember we were talking about the germs.
Yeah. You had your
my
wipes
God.
ready to go as soon as we got off.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I know.
But that's what us New Yorkers do. We have to get on the subway.
It was fun. It was definitely a new experience.
Yeah, but I want you to come back to New York when it's warmer.
I cannot wait. Next, I'm just going to do blush. And I'm using the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Blush. I've used this a few times. In the shade You Had Me at Merlot.
Oh, it's pretty.
It is pretty. I like it because it's like really not too pigmented and it's easy to control.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful blush. Like a flush of color.
So if you had any advice you could give to a makeup artist on perfecting their skill, what advice would you give them?
Any advice to a makeup artist to perfect their skill? I would say, I feel like a lot of makeup artists don't understand skin. There's a lot of makeup artists who are great with color, great with technique, but they don't understand skin, and they don't understand why you need things to last. I think that's a big difference between someone who works in editorial and someone who works in with celebrity. The big difference between the two is for celebrity, you need to understand how long makeup lasts.
So if like a makeup says it's going to last 8 hours and they need it to last like 10 or 15
Right,
hours.
right. You have to really understand how to make that happen. Whereas with editorial, it's a more controlled environment. So you can start really light, add as you go, or you have the time to take away. So I think that's the main difference.
I'm using the Dior Nude Air Luminizer in the shade Bronze Glow.
This is one of my favorite
It's
luminizers.
literally one of my favorites. It's my only favorite.
It's so easy to work with, and it adds like the perfect amount of light.
So do you like a blinding highlight on your clients, or just like a subtle glow?
A subtle glow.
Okay.
I love that
And
question.
This is definitely
A blinding highlight.
that's how it's called.
Yeah, I can't control a blinding highlight,
I
so
see.
I feel like it'd be really, and it's jarring on television. So you have to find that happy medium of radiance without it looking metallic.
Absolutely. And I feel like they did a really good job with this product. I honestly don't know why I keep doing it, but I'm not a big fan of the inner corner highlight. But I still do it every single time. I don't know why.
I think with the inner corner highlight, it needs to be in the corner.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you just pop it in and that's all you see, then it's not really a highlight anymore.
So
I mean,
you would put it more like right here.
yeah, or I would do it like following just that little the curvature eye right here. That to me is the inner highlight. Once you go in with a bigger brush and you really blow out that inside, it's not a highlight anymore because it's a feature.
I see.
Do you know what I mean?
So like right here.
Yeah, you can cheat it a bit, because if you have pop, 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 you've created this upside down triangle of light. That becomes the focus.
Gotcha.
So you need to balance out why light is being pulled into that area, or why you want to bring it out.
I see.
But it's beautiful because it's still really subtle.
Yeah. What are some trends that Instagram or YouTube created
I love
and
this
made
question
popular that you
'cause-
can't stand?
Okay, that I can't stand.
Or that you like?
Oh,
Both.
I can't stand a drippy old runny makeup situation.
Runny makeup?
Well, where they take the dropper and they're dropping, and then you see these people and they're trying to catch it, and
The Instagram tutorial.
yeah, and then they're trying to blend it out, but then you realize, oh, I put too much product on, and then they're like really working it out, and it just becomes a muddy old mess.
I see that.
Like, literally, people, who is doing this at home when you got 10 minutes to get that face done? I mean, I understand the spectacle of showing and applying, but I don't understand. You are really using a lot of product.
So it's like a waste.
It's a waste. It's a total waste. I mean, I get sucked into it. I love watching it, but
I think that's what made it so popular, because it was like very clickbaity. Like
exactly.
I am.
This looks
almost
great.
Done. I think so. I'm gonna go ahead and spray now.
And this is your setting?
Spray? Yeah, it's the Estee Lauder Satin Refresh.
Oh, I've never tried this product.
It's really good, actually. And I don't like, you normally with setting sprays, I'm just like, it just sets and it's like not anything special, but I really like this.
Nice. And you really feel a difference when you have it on.
I feel like, especially with powder products, it helps kind of like smooth everything out.
That looks so beautiful.
You like it? Thank you.
I love it. I'm even more excited that you get to play with these new products.
I know.
So,
okay, tell us about the lipsticks.
so we are here in sunny Los Angeles at the London Hotel, and we're launching the lacquered plump lipsticks. They're like lip glosses and a couple lipsticks. But Peter Phillips, who's the creative director and image consultant for Dior, created these amazing colors. It's a range from glitter to neon to like a classic red. And you've already picked out your color.
I thought I had, but now I can't decide.
Was it this one,
Was it
I
that
think?
one?
I think it was this one.
Yeah.
And they're just super beautiful. There's a lot of payoff. Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful.
So
oh my God.
pretty.
I'm going to pull this out and see what... to take the glasses off. It's 777 and it's called Diorly.
It's pretty.
It's so beautiful.
It feels like water. It feels like water is going
Yeah,
on my lips.
it's like a stain. So it's very emollient, but there's a lot of pigment power. And it's actually really buildable too. And what makes this really unique as well is the brush. It's round but a bit flat, so it really follows the curvatures of your lips. Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
That is really
How's it
pretty.
feel?
It feels really good. It feels like it's shiny, but it doesn't feel like a gloss, if that makes sense.
It just looks like moisturized with a punch of pigment. Awesome.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
So pretty. Oh, it kind of looks like it gets darker.
Yeah.
That's this.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has the lip. So
The one I used last night, it was like kind of like a.
Was it the midnight one that's kind of blue? Was your lip dark last night?
It started off like mauve-y, and then it went very, very like brown, like my skin tone.
Oh.
So I think it adjusts a little bit, maybe
To your pH.
maybe.
Because that's what lip glow does.
Okay, well then yeah, I can definitely see that because this definitely is not as bright pink or purple as
Right.
it was earlier.
And it does look deeper. Oh, that's fascinating.
I know.
The more you know.
I think that's it for my
Oh my gosh. I'm just so stoked that I got to learn about these newer products like Revolution Beauty Bakery.
Yeah.
And just to kind of see how you apply your makeup. Because I feel like, I mean, surprisingly enough, there's makeup artists who aren't familiar with working with women of color or deeper skin tones don't understand how to do makeup on your skin tone. And I feel like this enabled me to learn, and then hopefully other people would watch this and really understand how you do your makeup
And
why.
I think the last conversation that we had, you were telling me like there was times where makeup artists would send models with deeper skin tones just down the runway flat with nothing on there, and that is insane because yes, it's a struggle like finding products that work for deeper skin tones, but as a makeup artist, and speaking for myself as a makeup person, there is at least one product that you can add to your kit to like do a full face of a deeper complected person. So it's kind of like out of like either laziness or just like ignorance and not wanting to touch it at all.
Exactly. I remember, God, this was like 20 years ago. Naomi Campbell backstage would always have her own complexion kit. And she'd be like, okay, this is what you use. And she would let you do whatever you need to do, but I'm going to do my skin because no one knows how to do my skin. And I feel like that's something that we all need to learn. Because skin is skin, no matter what color it is.
Of course, yeah.
And if you're a makeup artist, you are an artist. You need to learn how to do this.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it's crazy. Yes, there's different concepts with deeper skin tones, different things that you have to like adjust to than working with people with lighter skin tones, but like you said, you're a makeup artist. I think you said something about if you can't do deeper skin, then you shouldn't consider yourself a makeup artist.
I mean, flat out. I mean, part of artistry is understanding color and understanding technique.
So I really hope you guys have learned something new. I really hope you guys enjoyed Daniel here on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Lots of love, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.